A Helldivers 2 moderator is accusing Mark Kern, or Grummz, of sexual assault. I wish I was making this up because it sounds too stupid to be true, and yet here we are. Purple Squidgen, someone who sexually assaulted many people he worked with, lost his business CEO, now is a far-right influencer who had people attack more than one of our CMs and their families. He is indeed a Helldivers 2 moderator. He, they, of course, as this is now the third person with aforementioned political markers, and also went on to say, anyone here who is a Grummz fan, please out yourself so I can help you out the door. Arrowhead. Why are not all of your community managers wearing leashes at this point with inward-facing spikes? I am genuinely curious. I am actually curious. Why have you not yanked the chain so hard that half of the little necky-wecky snapped at this point? This is what, the fourth time now? One of your community managers has caused you to enter into a spiral of self-damaging hatred and malice, it seems, turning the entire community against you. It's getting to the point where one wonders if this is some kind of goddamn conspiracy or something. Which, incidentally, the reason why Grummz is so very unpopular is because he's been digging into the community managers and their repeated ridiculous statements like, Baskinator, the previous flags in bio character. We always knew this day would get here, and it's going to be going about how I expected. I'm actually happy for us to be able to take action against player reports and make the game safer across the board personally. This in response to the PlayStation Network integration. Oh boy, this is a multi-layered cake, isn't it? Okay, so you knew about the PlayStation integration, you assumed it would go terribly, as one might very well do, you then elected to not inform your team as a community manager about this, which caused yet another massive wave of nonsensical statements, including community manager saying that the reason why Arrowhead was doing this was not because of Sony, but because Arrowhead wanted to ban people more easily. And also, of course, not informing your other community manager who did make an actual apology, heading to the right thing, for saying that it's so easy to make a Sony Network account, despite this, of course, only being available in a fair few countries, and therefore would actually bar access to the game to a lot of people. You didn't inform them about this, apparently. You didn't actually train the team. You didn't get the information out there, causing yet more havoc. And then, of course, this. I'm seeing why people are starting to wonder if this is some kind of, I don't know, Sony conspiracy where the company decided to try and ruin Helldivers 2 for no other reason than sheer undiluted malice, I guess. Because we have hit the point now where the simple explanation, incompetence, has long since been blown past. We are deep into somebody's gotta have a bone to pick with somebody territory at this point, surely. I mean, you cannot make this many errors of this magnitude this consistently without a plan, surely. And again, now, Grummz responses, Helldivers moderator Purple Squidgen falsely proclaims that I have sexually assaulted many people, falsely claims to send people to attack their CMs and their families, currently banning anyone who defends me or even likes a comment that defends me from this slander, and that does seem to be an accurate portrayal of what's happening. Helldivers 2, Pillarstead, that is the CEO of Arrowhead, this is not okay, and your community team is out of control and lying. I just want to point out as well, this right here is a lawsuit material. This is one of your employees, Arrowhead, accusing a man of sexual assault. Seriously. Okay, right. To try and bring this over into a slightly more constructive direction rather than merely just jaw-on-the-floor outrage at how on God's good earth these people could think that this was in any way acceptable whatsoever, and that this wouldn't be immediately picked up upon. So, the community managers for Helldivers 2 have practically everyone that stepped in it has had the same markers of politicization. Flags in bio or weird pronouns. These are absolutely modern-day markers of political ideologies rather than simply just simple ideological things, or identity things more correctly. This is all indicative of intersectionality. They claim as well that, what was it here? And now it's a far-right influencer, there we go, who had people attack more than one of our CMs and their families. The very accusation, far-right, etc. This person is almost guaranteeably quite far on the left, as were the other community managers who stepped in it as well. This is a weird pattern, not necessarily one of a conspiracy, but rather one of a group of people who have existed in modern society in such a coddled state of privilege for so long now that they genuinely actually unironically believe that they can get away with any kind of accusation whatsoever with no actual consequences being applied against them at all due to their self-proclaimed status as victims. Again, I would not actually be surprised if this was an actual lawsuit that Grummz could be considering here. This is an unfathomably stupid thing to say. How to deal with this? Arrowhead. Anyone that's working for you with flags in their bio need to disappear as quickly as possible. They have demonstrated now on multiple occasions that they are incapable of keeping their personal feelings, and thus in turn their identity politic nonsense, in check. They are an active danger to your company, and very clearly an enormous one at this rate, that has managed to make every single terrible situation that has befallen your game and company worse by simple sheer existence. Then you need to replace them with new community managers with strict instructions to keep their mouths shut on everything until there is an official line, a company line, that they can adhere to strictly. They are not there to be parts of the community. They are certainly not there to be an active part of their own ideological discussion. They are certainly not there to be political. And may I remind you as well of your initial stance, which was that this game was not an arena for politics. Remember that? Where you were intending to ban both sides, asking for pride flags, or even arguing against it. Remember that? That was the brilliant solution. That was the answer to keep politics out of the game completely. And yet you have hired the Rainbow Brigade to defend you with not exactly surprising or difficult to predict results. Then, once you have purged the community management team entirely, you probably need to sit down and have a lengthy internal discourse as to what exactly your internal and external policy is to be on the matter of politics. Preferably, you should reaffirm your stance that you will be a politically neutral company. You should take that cowl and you should wear it. You should declare yourself non-political in all elements, and if anyone brings up anything related to politics, identitarian politics included, should simply be removed from the discords. Simple rules. You have your pronouns in your bio, you're probably not right here. You have your politics in your bio, you're probably not right here either. You know what? I'm starting to appreciate Creative Assembly's position on this, that participation is not a right. Because with the absolute unbridled idiocy that you've managed to wander into again and again now, clearly your company should probably just disengage entirely from the discourse completely, putting out only public statements on a Twitter account or on your Steam pages, and otherwise keeping yourself entirely separate from everything. See, the thing is, we have far past beyond the day where all PR is positive PR. These days, only positive PR is good PR, and negative PR can actually be outright destructive, or self-annihilating in these cases, as there are many interesting rumors swirling back and forth about the states of refunds when it comes to Steam as well. Now, I tried to refund my game that was rejected. Apparently, if you apply for a refund again, then you get a human being rather than the automated bot who only checks your played hours, so I'm going to try that too, as apparently quite a few people have successfully refunded their games and has tweeted about it on X and Twitter. This is a very big problem, of course, for Sony and for Arrowhead, as this is a company that earned a tremendous amount of sales that could now not only merely disappear, but actively take that money back out of the company, which is quite disastrous. And there's also no reason for mercy whatsoever on behalf of the actual gamers here, because here's the thing. Even if you believe that Arrowhead Studios did nothing wrong, potentially, beyond merely hiring, very, very poor hiring practices, you can lay all the blame on Sony, right? Even in that case, if you allow Sony to get away with this, with introducing very negative consequences months after release, this will become an industry standard practice, because they're gonna see it's effective. Oh wait, hold on, if we simply wait to introduce a de novo, for example, until about 3 or 4 months after the game is released, well, that's what we're gonna do. If we can simply delay introducing our stupid team terms of service into the game until a month or 2 after release, after the sales, then that is what we are going to do. There's absolutely need to be a moment of general reproach from the gaming community against this sort of practices to make it very clear that this is not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. And even more so, is there too? I bet you that Helldivers 2 would not have had this sheer quantity of scrutiny that it currently has with its community managers if it had not declared itself to be a politically neutral space and then demonstrated itself to not be so. It is the same thing as with the female custodies nonsense a short while ago. If you actively lie to your audience, that will only make things worse. Get a grip, Arrowhead. Seriously, you were one of very few actual positive beacons in gaming, and you are squandering that incredible position at the speed of light. Get your community managers under control, isolate this problem, crack down upon it, and get an actual idea for your course of action with the PlayStation Network linkage. You need to get ahead of this, not bury yourself further in the mud. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.